What is going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, soon to be joined by Kevil and Dilly Vanilli. Here to recap the Philadelphia Eagles' big upset victory over the Chicago Bears in the wildcard round here. 2019 NFL playoffs. Here to discuss the big stars of the game, how the Bears lost this game, how the Eagles won this game, and then also that kick at the end, which cost me $2,000, but we'll get into that. Kevil will be here soon. Dylan will be here soon. Let me know what you guys think of this game in the comment section, in the live comments, or if you're catching this on the rewind, leave comments below. Let me know what you think. Was this more the Bears losing this game, the Eagles winning this game? Do you think the Eagles are a threat to the Saints next week in New Orleans? What do you think of the matchup of the Cowboys versus the Rams in the divisional round? Let me know anything NFC playoffs, anything playoffs in general. We're going to get into it. Kevil is now here. He's ready to go. He's still repping the Seahawks, even despite the loss yesterday. Kevil, what's your immediate reaction to the Eagles' victory over the Bears?
So, Mitch, I know that you're going to have a tough time giving Eagles credit, but I'm going to give the Eagles some credit. Brilliant timeout by Doug Peterson, knowing full well that this was a guy that hit 5 posts during the season. He let him kick it, got it out of the way, and it worked. So full credit for that. Also, you got to give St. Nick credit for that last drive. They found a way to do it. I think a lot of this is at the end here. To me, you got to get, if your field goal kicker is not great, you got to get it under 40 yards. And I didn't understand why they took that.
He should have made that kick. But yeah. I'm not going to blame it all on Cody Parkey. It's not completely his fault. This is what I take away from the game.
As possible than 43 yards.
They tried.
You keep that timeout in your pocket.
It was a questionable decision, but I do understand why they took the timeout, because it was a 30-yard catch. So they had to run up 30 yards, get everybody set, and it might have cost them too much time. So I understand the timeout, but it took a while for them to call a timeout. That was the flaw.
That too. But I think you gotta try to move that as close as you humanly possible. Let your running game do it. And they didn't do it. So this is a little bit on Nagy. This is a little bit on Parkey. And Trubisky did miss that last throw. I think maybe they should have planned it out. They didn't have an out route there to get to the sidelines, but they should have found a way to get it under 40 yards. To me, that's a clinch. Because reality is, if it's closer, it's in.
This is my thought on the game. Okay? And this is as somebody who lost $2,000 on the game. So yes, I'm going to be a little bit upset about the missed field goal.
Mitch a pat on the shoulder.
But, okay, bro, it honestly feels a little bit like the Patriots losing the Super Bowl. Just a little bit. But I'm not blaming it on Cody Parkey. My blame is on the defense. You're the number one defense in the NFL. You're up by 5. You have 4 minutes left. The Eagles drive 3.5 minutes down the field, have multiple big 3rd down and 4th down conversions, and they score. If you're a Bears fan, if you're a NFL viewer, you would think that the Bears would want to be in a situation where their defense is on the field, up 5 with 4 minutes to go, and basically in a situation at the end of the game. In my opinion, as if I'm a Bears fan, and you've been there before, Kevil, more recently than I have, where you have a great defense, I would rather have my great defense on 4th and goal on the 2 than my offense on the field to try and win the game. Like, if you're sitting there as a Bears fan, you're saying, okay, 4th and goal, our defense needs to make one play and we win the game, and the supposed best defense in the NFL does not come up with a stop. That, to me, that is where the blame goes. Most of the blame for me. Mitch Trubisky, a lot of people probably wouldn't have even predicted that Mitch Trubisky gets them to that range to kick the field goal. He made a number of great throws in the 4th quarter, played a great 4th quarter, and got the lead. and then almost won the game. He did his job to get them there, but the defense let them down. The best part of their team. And that's to me why the Eagles deserve to win this game. Because the Eagles, against the best defense, supposed best defense, drove down the field when it was clutch time, when it was crunch time, and Nick Foles made the throws. Jeffrey made the catch. Ertz made the catch. Goddard made the catches. And Tate made the catch in the end zone. And they were able to win the game. So to me, the Chicago Bears did not lose the game. The Eagles won the game because the Bears defense got schooled. Period. End of story.
Well, I think a lot of credit is going to go to St. Nick, but this receiving core for the Eagles has been a little bit under-maligned, specifically Golden Tate, who was under some fire this week for this trade with Detroit. But Tate, Aguilar, Dallas Goedert, who Rich Eisen said would be an X factor. He was big. He got not only the touchdown, he got a big third down, a third and what was that? Was that 3rd and 8 that he made that run on?
Goddard?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3rd and something.
Yeah, because Collinsworth said because that did end it so. Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, that receiving core was strong today, and it was pretty obvious what the Eagles were doing because they could not run the ball. I mean, even when they gave it to Darren Sproles, it was really just to try to kill as much time as possible.
Yeah, and at the end there on the 3-yard line, I'm sitting there and I'm like, they're wasting plays. You're not going to run the ball in the end zone. The Bears are going to stuff you. You haven't gone anywhere all game, and you expect to run for 2 yards?
Killing time. They forced the Bears.
I don't think so. You don't kill time to fourth.
That was the other thing.
You don't leave it up to 4th and goal. This is not Madden.
No, but the fact that he forced Nagy to take the timeouts. Peterson just was a little bit smarter than Matt Nagy today. I do have to give him
more experience
and smarter.
I think Nagy made some nice plays, some nice calls, but also I feel like when you're the Bears and you have your #1 defense on the field, to me that's what you want. That's what I always say. People ask that question about the Patriots. What would you rather have, Tom Brady with the ball down 4 or Patriots defense up 4? I'd rather have Tom Brady down 4 with the ball.
Yeah, to me, we didn't give the Eagles receiving core we thought that this was the thing, and Foles did not throw over 200. What 123? I'm going to pull up the stats here in a second because you were starting. But to me, the Eagles receiving core, give them credit. I thought Doug Peterson coached a really strong game. Jim Schwartz called a really good game.
Wasn't talked about at all on the broadcast, was the biggest reason why the Eagles won this game. Jim Schwartz did not play, but was the biggest reason why they won, in my opinion.
And also,
and it's Mitch Mullany. Hey, Mitch Mullany.
Hi, Mitch Mullany. What's going on? But the other thing is, too, just to talk about the Bears defense for just a quick second, what they did to contain Khalil Mack. Because he was silent for 3.5 quarters. Yeah, he was stronger in the 4th quarter, but what they did against him in the first 3.5 quarters was really well done. Like they both, I think, the Eagles coaching outcoached the Bears coaching. So
I agree, because when you look at it, the Bears are a more talented team.
Sure,
they're a more talented defense. They're a more talented offense, and at the end of the day, they lost. But Dylan, what do you think of my take? I basically said, I don't know if you've been listening, but I've been saying, okay, if you're a Bears fan and you're up 15-10 and your defense has to make one stop to win, isn't that where you want to be?
Absolutely.
And your Bears defense does not come up with the stop.
This is the best defense statistically all year. You're #1 in sacks. You put up the best numbers in the league, and you've got some of the best players, Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, where were you today, buddy?
Where were you, buddy? Not at the right moments, man. It's a disappointing loss, honestly, for the Bears. I mean, you come up with all these expectations. I know you got a young quarterback, but you got a head coach that's considered head coach of the year this year. Defense is well put together, being considered the most dangerous defense in the playoffs. And when you need it at the situation with Nick Foles, who is magic god, I guess, playoff god, but you still got to make the defensive plays, and you were one play. 4th and goal at the 2. One play away from getting it done. You didn't get it done. It's disappointing.
Well, really, that drive, though, to go back to what I was saying earlier, that drive, the turning point of that drive was that Dallas Goedert catch.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't, he hustled, the Bears didn't. And
But Collinsworth made a good point about the high point passes. It's something where Nick Foles, that's part of the reason why they won the Super Bowl last year, was those high point passes to Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz. And like his touch on those passes were extremely impressive. But for those receivers and him to time it like that and to get those catches, those clutch catches, those passes, when they're accurate, are hard to defend. It's almost impossible to defend those passes when you're going up and catching it like that. So to me, I mean, Nick Foles played really well at the end. Definitely
did.
And that's what you want. If you're the Eagles, you want this moment. You want this setup. It feels like this is Foles' perfect time to get it done. And the Bears just didn't come up with it at the end.
As good of a defensive game this was, both quarterbacks at the end played well.
Yeah.
Like, they both made the plays to win. The Eagles just kind of got a little fluky, and also, you know, they got that touchdown at the end.
Well, what happens? Sometimes that separates a winner from a loser. It's just one more play than the next.
Okay, so Dylan,
I'd rather be lucky than good.
Settle another debate that we're having here.
All right, what's that?
To me, I think the Bears made a mistake in calling the timeout too early. I know that it was a big play, but to me, I think you need to get, if your kicker, you know your kicker isn't the greatest kicker in the world. I know that the 53 was the thing. I think you got to get that as close to under the 40-yard line as possible.
The timeout right before the catch, right? Or right after?
Yeah.
I understand where they were coming from. I think there was a lot of confusion on the sidelines. Trubisky was like, "Okay, what are we gonna do? Like, what's the play call and everything like that." Honestly, I kind of agree with you. He's missed 7 field goals. He's missed 3 extra points. He's tied for the second most field goals missed all year. You want to get this in as favorable a position as possible. I know he made a 41-yarder like before.
Oh, that's what they were trying to do.
You need to get it in as best of a possible.
That's what they were trying to do. They had 50 seconds.
Yeah, but there's confusion going on from Trubisky and the sideline. They had nothing talked about.
My flaw in the timeout call is that they didn't call the timeout right away.
They still had 5 seconds that they wasted between the communication.
Yeah, they wasted 5 seconds is my point. Because if you add those 5 seconds on, if you call the timeout right as Allen Robinson caught the ball, you would have had 14 or 15 seconds left on the clock instead of like 9, I think it was. So you would have had the ability to have another play there.
You still need that timeout later, though.
I don't think so, because you can spike the ball. If it's a 30-yard catch, you have to run 30 yards, get everybody set, and then spike the ball. It's up for debate, but like it's personal preference, in my opinion. I don't think it's like what won or lost them the game.
In part,
Parkey should have made the kick. It was 43 yards. You're a very makeable kick.
No, you're a kicker in the NFL. You need to make that shit. It's just, yeah, he hasn't been good all year. That's the problem. They haven't had a good kicker all year. So it ended up losing. No, I'm not saying.
You know what though? If that just tweaks just a little bit, we're talking about a different game.
Yeah. We're talking about the Bears getting a gutsy victory and moving on the NFC divisional round, but the case is one.
And of course, I think we all said it would be a close game. And yeah, it pretty much played the way I thought it would. I mean, I thought it would be like this sort of, defensive. But then again, if Trubisky had 303 yards and a touchdown before, if I knew his stats before the game, I probably would have said they would have won.
Yeah, he played, for the most part, him and Allen Robinson were on the same page.
The Eagles I think one of the things we haven't talked about is the Eagles did a great job at stopping the run.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Howard had 10 carries for 35 yards.
Cohen had 1 carry.
Yeah, that to me was confusing to me. I think Trey Burton was a big miss in this game.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Eddie Jackson not being in the secondary was a big miss in this game as well.
Well, he was there.
He didn't play much.
He might have taken a few plays off, but he definitely played.
He didn't even start the first quarter. He didn't have a play the first quarter.
Well, he was in the lineup.
They said during the broadcast that if his knee was available, so he wasn't there much.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson had a great game.
Yep.
10 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown. Other than that, I mean, Taylor Gabriel, I'll give him, he made a few big plays in the game. A big clutch catch early in that drive, and then he had a big run, 20-yard run. Other than that, the Bears really lacked big plays. Cohen had a huge kick return, but really in the game, he had one big catch. They didn't use him very well in this game. They didn't really use him much at all. So that's a big disappointment. And like Kev said, not having Trey Burton at tight end hurt them because Adam Shaheen is not great. Defensively, though, both defenses played well, but just going back to Schwartz, he's done such a great job with the limited amount of talent they've had at corner. You're talking about Rasir Douglas, Crevon LeBlanc, and who's the Maddox? Like, that's pretty impressive what this defense is able to do. Of course, the front is really good, but at the same time, I mean, for that secondary to only give up a few big throws down the field is pretty impressive. Now they have a totally different type of challenge on the road against the Saints in a dome, where it's much easier to pass against Drew Brees. So that's going to be a more difficult matchup for them, which we saw that matchup a little bit earlier this season. It's going to be interesting, but I think he's done such a great job that he deserves a lot of credit for this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Offensively, playmaker-wise for the Eagles, I mean, Alshon Jeffrey had a few big catches. He had 6 for 82. Nobody went over 100. Golden Tate had a touchdown and a couple catches. And Zach Ertz was kind of quiet, 5 catches, 52 yards.
You can tell how Carson Wentz was that big of an influence for Zach Ertz because they were connecting like crazy, and now it's like Nick Foles needs to go to him when he has to. It's not like his number one option.
Yeah, and the Bears were focused on taking him away. That's the number one guy you want to take away on this offense. Dallas Goedert, he scored a touchdown where there were 10 people on the field for the Bears. So
it seems like that worked today. You know, the Ravens 2-point conversion or the Chargers got that. It looks like that's really working out. Cover 0.
It is working. Big part of the Bears' game plan was trying to take away Fletcher Cox. He had 0 sacks. He didn't really even touch the quarterback, but of course he was influential in stopping the run. But for the Bears, what's disappointing is your defense did not take over when it needed to. It made a couple big plays with the interceptions, but when it needed to stand up, it didn't. And that's how the Bears were going to win, how they were going to go far in the playoffs, and it just didn't happen. And credit the Eagles for, again, another big victory. What else can we really say here? Let's get to the comments, and we'll see if we have any talking points from there.
I do say, as a fan of the Cowboys, thank you, Eagles, for winning, because I don't want to play in the dome. Take that very much.
There are a cajillion comments.
There's fucking tons of them. Holy shit. I can only go up to the last 16 minutes, so. Trevor says Eagles should have won by 3 or by double digits, to be honest. There's 3.
I can go to the start.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
Okay, if you can read them then, because I can only go up to 60 minutes.
All right, here we go. Big breath in. All right. Kevin Dercat says, Saint Nick. He says, thank you, Parky, for giving me $130. Ultra says he went 0 for 4 this week.
Bear fans, we need to have a little chat. I understand your heartbreak. I understand your anger. I understand all of this. But seriously, threatening a man's life and kid's life for missing a field goal?
What?
Yeah, check Twitter. It's ridiculous right now. It is terrible what this guy is going through.
That's
like,
bad.
It's terrible. Like, just stop it.
Wow. NFC North kickers suck, says Party. Ultra, his power rankings heading into divisional round. Let's hear what you guys think about this.
Interesting.
Saints at number 1. Chiefs at number 2, Patriots at number 3, Rams at number 4, Chargers at number 5, Colts at number 6, Cowboys at number 7, and Eagles at number 8.
Say that again.
Saints, Chiefs, Pats, Rams, Chargers, Colts, Cowboys, Eagles. I would put the Colts ahead of the Chargers.
I would as well.
That's probably it.
I'll take the Cowboys still being there at 7. You know, everybody's got to put us at the bottom. That's cool.
So I would go.
It's pretty impressive for the Eagles, though.
I'm going to go Saints, Rams. Yes, power ranking wise, I understand. I'd go Saints, Rams, Pats right now for my top 3. And then
I need to ask a question to Dylan right after this.
the bottom 4. I mean, I guess you could put the Eagles there. I might go backwards. Eagles, Chargers, Colts at this point in time. I think the Colts. I'm not telling you because I had a terrible week. It was 1-3. Good job, Kevin, picking for this week. But I'm not entirely convinced that Casey's going to beat Indy.
No, me neither. We'll get to that though when we get to it. I was going to ask Dylan this because I was thinking this.
Yeah.
I think Dallas matches up very well with the Rams.
I'm ecstatic that we're playing the Rams. Okay, for multiple examples. 1, we don't have to play New Orleans. New Orleans in the Dome.
Well, you might if you win.
Yeah, you might have to next year.
We'll have to deal with that for another week. We don't have to do that in the divisional round.
But honestly, though, if you win 2 in a row, you're at least playing with more confidence.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is a booster here. LA is home for literally nobody. So that's a good start.
It will be a Dallas home game.
It's going to be a Cowboys home game for sure.
Which is, you know what? I think I'm going. No, I'm kidding. I think that's good. You saw how the Cowboys were able to stop the run game last week or yesterday against the Seahawks. I know it's 2 different kinds of setups because you had 3 running backs in Seattle. Now you got Todd Gurley, who's the number 2 leading rusher this year. So you could be able to do that. I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to just come down to the defense of the Cowboys versus the offense of the Rams. And the Rams offense has been very sketchy as of late. So I think it's a pretty decent matchup, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. I think the run defense, I think this is the biggest thing. The Cowboys can run against the Rams. Yeah. The Cowboys can't run against the Saints.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's true. They were able to hold down Zeke for the most part in that Saints game. I think we can do a lot more against this Rams defensive line.
Kevil, as a fan of somebody who got eliminated, what do you think of the current playoff games right now? I think we have a pretty good matchup. I would have liked to seen the Bears win because I think it would have been a better – I think the Saints would have had a tougher game against the Cowboys than the Eagles, in my opinion. But on the AFC side, I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I think AFC wise, it's still anybody's contest at this point. To me, I'm interested in this Cowboys Rams game for a couple of things here because I do want to see.
You hate the Rams.
Well,
Just say it.
Right.
Wait, this is a win-win because either my Cowboys win and I get to make the either the Cowboys win or the Rams win and I get to do the Titanic Kev thing, the meme. So there you go. Either way, no, I'd rather win. But
yeah, I mean, it's that game, the Cowboys Rams game, is probably going to be the most interesting to see how that goes because that can go any way. I think the acquisition of CJ Anderson changes the Rams strategically a little bit because I think
he's not going to play.
Are you sure about that?
He's going to play like 5 snaps.
He's not. Gurley's going to be healthy by that point.
Oh, well, for sure. But it's a guy you can use in a number of different ways, right?
He'll play 5 snaps.
I would not. I would be more than surprised if he played more than 10 snaps.
I think if you have 2 good running backs, you have a good chance to win a Super Bowl.
The thing is, it's not like Kamara. It's not like Kamara and Ingram, where Kamara can use the pass catching. Like CJ Anderson's never going to catch balls. You know what I mean? Like use a 2-run setup. It's either 1 power guy and 1 speed guy. They're not 2 power guys.
Well, we'll see. But I do think that's an interesting. To me, it's probably the best games. I think will be the Colts and Kansas City will be 1.
I think that will be the best game.
Chargers, Patriots 2, Cowboys, Rams 3, Eagles, Saints 4.
I agree.
Yeah. But I would have loved to have salivated at that opportunity at the LA Rams because I feel we could have done it. So I can understand why Dylan is feeling the opportunity there, because there's a one there. The Rams there's an opportunity for one and done there for sure.
I have to take off work again, so yeah, I'm a little annoyed. There's a better matchup. So.
You're annoyed that your team advanced in the playoffs. Just concede to Kev then.
I'm not conceding to that. I'm excited. I'm excited. 6 days away. I'm gonna be with the fam. I'm gonna be with Dad. So it's gonna be a good game. I'm excited. We'll talk a lot about it, but the next 6 days.
Can we just get back quickly to this game? I just want to point out something here. In the last 2 drives, because I'm looking here, this was probably one key difference. Foles' passes completed were to Jeffrey, Goddard, Aguilar, Ertz, Jeffrey, and Tate for the touchdown. So he spread it around. Trubisky passed to Robinson complete, Trubisky threw an incomplete, the spike, I think, there, and a pass to Anthony Miller. So Foles and the Eagles offense showed at the end anyway they were able to spread the ball around. The
Eagles' weapons are better.
What's that?
Eagles' weapons are better.
Yeah, but that is something, if you're a Bears fan, you need to kind of look at a little bit. Now, maybe the Bears get into the Antonio Brown Beckham conversation.
They certainly should be looking at a receiver. I think a lot of people haven't been really looking at the receivers for the Bears this year just because of their defense and how well they've played, and they haven't really had to score a lot. But as much as Gabriel's a fine receiver, I don't think he's a great number 2.
No, he's a 3 guy.
And Robinson isn't a great number 1 either. He's a solid number 1. I wouldn't say he's like a top 15 guy.
Gabriel is a great 3 addition to anybody. He's not a 2 guy. To me, he's not a 2 guy.
Like, their hope is that rather Anthony Miller steps up and develops, or they get somebody in. Because then if you add a guy to – if you add Antonio Brown, I mean, this is a totally different conversation. Because then you have a great receiver core. But if you get like just a solid guy, then you're looking at like 4 pretty good receivers. But especially without Trey Burton on the field, it completely changes. And then them not using Tariq Cohen in any way, just get the football in his hands is puzzling.
I was shocked they didn't use him as often, like in the receiving game. How many catches did he have?
2, I think, or 3.
Like, this is the guy I wanted you in DraftKings, bro. This is why I put you in there, because I thought you were going to be a bigger threat in the receiving game. But, yeah.
Get 3 catches.
Wonderful.
Party says Colts are going to win the Super Bowl, and with a Roman Reigns, believe that.
So he must be hated. I mean, because it's very controversial there.
Trevor says that the Eagles should have won by double digits.
I saw that comment.
Bodo says the Eagles D was epic. Robot guy asks $2,000, Mitch. Yes, $2,000. King Voodoo says, who dat going to destroy them birds in LA or in New Orleans next Sunday? Party says, KD, you salty because the Finns suck. Fact or fiction? Bears cut Parkey tomorrow.
Fact. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow.
No, fiction.
They're going to cut him.
They won't cut him tomorrow, so I'm saying fiction.
Yeah. They won't cut him in the next 24 hours, but he's got to be gone. Has to.
King Voodoo says, oh, never mind. Trevor says, really entertaining game. I agree.
Yep.
What else? Trevor says Colts is going to be really fun. Party is calling it right now. 38-31. Believe that. TY gets 2 touchdowns. Chris says they should have ran the ball instead of throwing it at the end. They would have ran out of time.
Yeah, there's no time. There's no way they would have had time for her play.
If you keep the timeout.
Yes, if you keep the timeout. But
you keep the timeout that you had to give up.
I will say this. I didn't like the throw to the end zone.
Yeah, that was wrong.
That was not good.
But then again, how much time did they have left there?
That was one more play. That was 15 seconds left.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They potentially could have thrown like 5 yards and then.
Yeah, you throw it out there if you're going to throw it.
Yep.
What else?
Kidding?
Sebastian is pissed about Cody Parkey. NFC North kick percentage was 71% this year.
71.
That's awful.
Dude, that's barely passing a test. And this is the NFL. That's pathetic.
Wow.
Oh.
Bears secondary is overrated, says Rick Badboy.
Disagree.
Trevor does not agree with my blame on the defense take.
I mean, they had the drive to stop them. All they had to do is get one stop.
I will say this. The Eagles attacked exactly who they needed to attack. They attacked Shareek McManus, who's the fourth string corner, because what's his name? Bryce Callahan is injured. He didn't play. So McManus is in that slot spot where Golden Tate scored the touchdown. And they attacked him pretty continuously over the night. And he did not win his matchup.
Yep.
So that was good game planning and good job by Nick Foles. What else? Ravens are idiots for not starting Flacco. Dilly, you did not have a take on this because you weren't on the recap. What's your thoughts there?
Okay, here's the thing. If you don't ride with the quarterback that you have at that moment, you don't deserve to be a fan. Okay? Look, the offense for 48 to 50 minutes was one of the worst offensive performances I've ever seen in my entire life. But if you have a rookie quarterback and you put in Joe Flacco, all it's going to do is mess him up. It's going to mess up his psyche. Like, man, am I ready for this moment? I guess my coach doesn't care. He's like, oh, I'm going to put in somebody else that's, Joe Flacco, who hasn't even played since week 11. I want everybody to understand that he has played for 7 weeks. I get why there was questions of whether or not he should be put in because the offense was so bad. But no, it would have made absolutely no sense. First of all, to start him absolutely made no sense because they already had this great run right before it. And then to change it in the middle of the game, no, I'm with Jimmy Smith on this one.
Yeah.
Can anyone tell me what the Baltimore record was before Lamar Jackson?
4-5.
Okay, thanks.
And then 6-1 in the last 7, by the way.
Where was that comment? This is a nice comment by Ultra. I totally agree. I was going to bring this up. I'm glad he did. He says the Bears should have let Minnesota win.
Yes. We brought it up week 17. That's absolutely what they should have done.
Yes, because they would have smacked Minnesota.
Kicked their ass.
But they had a chance to get the bye, though, too, right?
Yeah, but they knew that the Rams were going to win.
It was like, well, who did the Rams play?
Bro, who cares? They're going to smack around the Vikings. It's an automatic bye. You might as well call it a bye. Jeez.
No way Kirk Cousins would have won that game. Absolutely not.
Don't poke the tiger.
Or the bear.
Poke the tiger.
The bear.
What else here? Ravens wouldn't be in the playoffs if Flacco had started. That's Trevor.
That's true.
Frank Reich, Coach of the Year, confirmed.
The way that
I gave mine to Pete Carroll.
I would put my consideration for Frank Reich as well. I like him and Nagy and Carroll. All three of them deserve to be in contention for it.
Fact or fiction? Harbaugh and Ravens part ways.
Fiction. I think he stays.
He's staying.
Fiction because of what he said after the game.
I didn't hear what he said.
He said, damn, I forgot what he said.
He basically said, the Ravens, I want to be here. The Ravens want me here. So
no, not even that. Let me see. He said something about Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically said Lamar's the quarterback going forward, and Flacco is going to be great for. There's going to be a lot of teams interested in him.
Which there will be, absolutely.
That's a tough quarter. That's a tough salary to take on, though.
It's a lot of money.
Okay, yeah, I can't find it, but anyways. Kevin Durkan says Eagles defense outplayed the Bears defense.
It did.
What do we think of Anthony Lynn at this point?
I thought he did a good job. As I said, Dylan, I felt that this was a game where both teams kind of shot themselves in the foot in different ways. It was one of those The Chargers left a lot of points on the board.
They did.
The Ravens took too many penalties.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they played very relaxed defense in those last 10 minutes, and I think that's what cost them an opportunity, or almost cost them an opportunity to make it. I think that Anthony Lynn has been solid, and in today's performance, I think he just played well. They just got kind of relaxed at the end.
Mr. Snoopy, the Pats hating Pats fans in the chat.
Oh,
he says Patriots have zero talent and they will lose.
Hold on, let me carry the X. I
don't think Snoopy's ever picked the Patriots to win.
I don't think Snoopy's ever seen a Patriots game. I mean, zero talent. That's hard. I don't know how you make the playoffs and have zero talent. That's pretty tough. It's tough. It's tough.
Snoopy says 39-17 Chargers.
When's the last time the Patriots lost by over 20 points?
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs.
Never.
oh
no, Baltimore in 2009.
Okay.
That's the only time.
I was going to go with the Super Bowl 1985 when they lost to the Bears.
Yeah, other than that.
That was what I was going to go with, but 2009.
Eagles are winning the Super Bowl again, aren't they? Says Ultra. No.
Bulls magic, man.
If they win next week, I'll be shocked.
If they win next week, put the bets on. Put the bets on.
If they win next week, we're getting Pats Eagles again confirmed.
Well, we don't even know the Pats are going to make it. Well,
no, I'm just saying Pats Eagles confirmed because it's just going to happen like that. I can't believe this Nick Foles, man.
He is insane. He's 8-0 in these clutch situations. It's insane.
Bodo says, guys, the Eagles defense won the game. Chris says, when is the last time the Colts won anything important? Never.
Yesterday.
2006.
Well, I was going to go with yesterday. They had to get the win, but yes, they won the Super Bowl. That was Colts.
Are the Bears next year going to be like the Jags?
That would suck.
I don't think so. Because of their coaching and because they have a better offense.
And
they need to improve their receiving core, though.
Yep.
They actually have a decent quarterback compared to the Jaguars also. So.
Yeah, they don't have the 72nd best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, he's in 80s territory for me.
Will Breeze be affected by 3 weeks off? Get it?
What? Technically.
Why do Pats fans think it's them versus the world, says Ultra? Because everyone hates the Patriots.
Everybody hates the
Cowboys. I think that's the answer.
Everybody hates the Seahawks.
That's not true.
Everybody hates the Cowboys. That's a fact.
What else do we have here?
Heck, even AC gave you respect, Kev. He said, I'm cheering for the Seahawks in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, because they played Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, he said that before they were playing Dallas.
Did you find any comments, Dylan, that you like?
Let me see if I'll scroll up here. See if I got any.
And anything you guys want to talk about? I know something's probably stirring in the head of Kevol over there.
Yes, there is something. Just so you know, 2008 was the last time we saw two number 6 seeds in an AFC and NFC championship.
2008?
Yes, it was. The Eagles played the Cardinals.
Okay.
And the Ravens played the Steelers.
The Ravens were the 6th seed in 2008?
Yes, they were.
And they lost, and both 6 seeds lost.
Yes.
Yeah, the Steelers beat the Ravens like 9-6 or whatever the hell it was.
That was with the questionable catch.
And Cardinals beat the Eagles.
Yep. I remember that.
Donovan McNabb.
Donnie.
And Andy Reid.
our favorite man who hopefully has a clock with
Did Matt Nagy give him his watch? That's the question.
Guys, hold on. I got this. Andy, you might need to fix this. It probably won't fit your wrist, but but I do have a watch here for you. It's a
Oh, look at
Citizen
this
watch. It's a nice watch, you know. Doesn't even fit my wrist right now. I need to get links off of it. But I got a second one in the back, you know, so you can have this one. And hopefully those glasses will help you get there, okay? So make sure your time clock management's good next week.
That game is going to be fun.
Lots of fun. I am very excited for that game.
Big Smokey says it will be Chiefs versus Pats, AFC, Cowboys versus Saints, NFC. Saints versus Pats, Super Bowl.
I won't say
What
no.
do we think now about Foles and Wentz? I am almost willing to say that this team needs to go with Foles.
If they win the Super Bowl, go with Foles. I will never question the Nick Foles work again. But if they don't, if they lose next week, no. Oh, there we go.
If they lose by 20, then yeah.
I'll say 2 possessions.
But they lost by 20 with Wentz.
So
what's the difference?
41 with Wentz in the Saints game. 41. I don't know. I honestly, it's a very perplexing question. I think the team as a whole just likes the message of Foles better than Wentz. I don't know what it is. They just like.
So
they try harder, it seems.
They try.
Question. Like, I'm just going to ask this honestly. I'm going to may take some heat. But is Wentz overrated?
I think he is.
I think he is. At this point.
I think it's time to say he is.
He hasn't been healthy in 2 seasons. He got hurt.
That is the biggest thing. He's not healthy ever.
And it's just weird because you don't hear the same type of you hear how this team talks about Nick Foles and that we have a shrine and this and that and the other thing, and you talk about and you hear how Nick Foles has this connection with his team. I just don't hear that with Carson Wentz.
Wentz, it's like he's really talented, but Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. You know, he should have won MVP, but
Nick Foles
is the legend.
He's gonna be the one that's remembered more than anything else.
So if you're because I'm guessing at this point, I think that Foles would go for a first-round pick.
He might.
He's a free agent next year. I don't think you need to trade for him.
He's like, oh. It would be, you know what? I'm just gonna make the proposal. I feel like the Giants should go for somebody out there, you know, because Eli's trash. So get somebody out there. There's quite a few teams that are gonna be knocking on the door for Foles.
It's not that Wentz isn't. It's such a weird situation.
It's about as odd as the calling on the field with the fumble. Okay.
Yeah,
Wentz to Jacksonville, says Rob.
It's never been seen before. Oh, Jacksonville. Oh, you better call me.
I think Jacksonville's going to go with Flacco.
Bodo says, will Foles be a Hall of Famer if he wins the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP again?
Yes. Honestly, like, you don't even have to do anything. He's going to have the shortest career to ever get in the Hall of Fame. He's golden. You bring 2 championships to that team and the way that you did it, forget it. We'll
says overrated isn't the right word.
Okay.
What word do you want me to call him? Like what? This team must feel that he is because they were winning without him.
They play better without him. That is the thing. The number one, I don't care what his stats are, Ultra. Foles is winning. Wentz is not. Why is that? Why is that?
What were the Eagles were 6 and 7 when Nick Foles went, or when?
I understand the game plan better. They do this better, but why? Why don't they do that with Wentz?
They were 6 and 7, and now they're 4-0 in their last 4 games, including the playoffs. And that look, we're not saying they're going to beat the Saints next week, okay? But if he does, and if he continues this run, what do you do? That is the biggest question.
That's it, yeah.
What are you guys looking at next week? What do you think?
For all the games, or
Yeah. What's your thoughts right now?
Chiefs Colts. I'm looking to see if the Chiefs can answer because again, their secondary is fucking putrid. But I think they need to tell the world this is a different Chiefs area or different Chiefs era. This is not the Alex Smith era. This is the Mahomes era. You need to go out there, sling the rock, and do what you do best, and make sure you win a shootout. Although Kev has told me, and I agree with him, playoffs aren't always a shootout. Cowboys Rams. I'm interested to see how close that matchup's going to be. It's I would call it neutral territory, but I'm not going to say anything. It's going to be just an interesting matchup because of how those two teams kind of work in separate ways, and it's going to be about the Cowboys defense versus the Rams offense. Patriots and Chargers is going to be a banger. I'm really looking forward to that. A banger. But
Would
again,
you like to know that has the lowest over-under?
Really? What's the over-under?
47.5. Do you want to play a guess the spreads game?
Guess the spreads game. All right.
So Indy, Kansas City. Kansas City is favored by how many points?
3.
5.5.
Wow. More than I expected, obviously. Okay.
All right. Dallas, Rams. Rams are favored by how many?
4.
Kev?
They'll want Cowboys money, so I'm going to say 2.
7.
Really?
Wow, that's wild.
I might take that right now. Sunday, Chargers, Patriots. Patriots are favored by how many?
Okay, so I'm going to say this is the lowest margin.
You say, yeah, I should have paid attention there.
I'll go 2.
I'll go 2 as well.
4.5. That is the lowest, though.
Wow, it's the lowest. Okay.
Philly, New Orleans. New Orleans is favored by how many?
I'm still gonna go single digits. I'll go 9.
I'll go 10. I'll do the double digits.
8.5. Dylan was close.
All right.
So that's interesting spreads.
That's pretty high spreads, honestly. I thought that'd be a little.
Yeah, the one thinking about it,
I think they'll get lowered as the week goes by. I think it'll be a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Patriots 4.5 sounds about right to me. New Orleans, I would probably that seems pretty accurate. Rams, I would say it should be closer to 4 or 5.
I was thinking 4.
Chiefs, it makes sense. But again, I think that should be 4.
I think it should be 4 or 3. I think they're going to lower it down for that one. I think the one that can be safe is the Saints Eagles one, but again, we'll see.
To me, the key in the Colts Kansas City game is I know that Spencer Ware and Damian Williams have been great, have been productive, but not having Kareem Hunt in that offense, I think, allows Matt Lieberfuse to take away a Tyreek Hill or a Travis Kelce. So I'm interested to see how the Colts defense strategizes that. And I'm interested to see how the Colts offense works against that secondary, because I think Hilton may have a big game, but Eric Ebron has been strong, and they'll be able to run the ball. So I'm going to be interested in, and this is Patrick Mahomes' first playoff game, which doesn't always go great. So I'm going to be interested in that. Chargers, Patriots. I don't think the Chargers played all that great today. Even Phillip Rivers admitted that. So they are going to have to play a lot better next week, obviously against a team with way more experience. Going to be interested to see how the Patriots receiving core does. Is Gronk healthy? This one might be a low scoring game, might be a high scoring game too. You don't know. Saints, Eagles. I think for the Eagles, the one thing that is interesting is this was the low point of their season, was their visit in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So they have something to go on there. As Dilly has pointed out, Drew Brees hasn't been great the last little bit, but I think he'll be fine here. But we'll get into that. Cowboys, Rams. I think this is an interesting moment for the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. This is an opportunity. because the Rams.
Skip Bayless will be all over this.
Oh, so Skip is going to be wearing all his Cowboys gear.
World, he won't even give any analyst any stats
analysis.
Yeah, he does. He barely knew who the Seattle Seahawks were, but anyway. But this, in terms of you're a Cowboys fan, was this really the evolution of Dak into a next level quarterback? They were able to get a little bit of receiving production other than Amari Cooper, but if you got Dak and Cooper and Elliott against that defense, it's going to make it interesting. If I'm a Rams fan, I think Sean McVay doesn't need to get too fancy here, but he might. That's going to be interesting. And
I think he has to. I think he has to.
Mm-hmm. He could be McVay. He doesn't need to go over McVay.
He is McVay.
I know, but he doesn't need to over McVay. And I think that front seven of the Cowboys is going to provide some interesting challenges for the Rams offensive line. But however, I do think the Rams receiving corps can have a good field day as that Cowboys secondary, because that was an area the Seahawks did not take advantage about. Tyler Lockett should have had a better game.
The Cowboys front seven had their best game all year yesterday. They had their best entire.
Yeah, but there's room on that secondary though. There is.
They target. Well, here's the thing. The biggest thing and I pointed this out before the game was, how are they going to stop Tyler Lockett in the deep ball? They really didn't. I mean, they had 4 catches, but he had 120 yards, which is good for 30 in average. So if Brandon Cooks, who gets his clear pass interference call every game, this is his goal.
That's going to happen. I already guarantee.
He doesn't care about his 55-yard catch. He cares about his 55-yard pass interference call. If he gets that, yeah, he's going to have to be on Awuzie. He'll be on Awuzie.
All right. I'm looking forward to next week already. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Eagles, Bears, disappointing because I lost 2 grand, but I didn't lose it, but I had it in my grasp.
Is there?
Marky miss, fucking idiot. Eagles, Bears, thanks for joining us here. From Mitch, Billy Vanilli, Kevil, we look forward to next week. Look forward to a lot of content. It's coming hot. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and tell your friends about the Bottom Line View for the rest of the NFL playoffs. This is the place to be. We'll see ya. Peace out.
Peace.